Today we are going to talk about the real rules of power. Let me say something that might sound controversial. If you don't understand power, you might actually be giving some of it away every single day. Stop. If you're thinking this is about manipulation, controlling people, or climbing some corporate hierarchy, stop. No. Stay with me. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about understanding what gives a person influence, what makes this influence sustainable, and what causes you to lose it. Power is not just about money, and it is not a title. It is not being the loudest in the room, but power is your ability to make choices, influence outcome, and remain the author of your own direction. And this is where the uncomfortable part is. You don't lose power because someone takes it from you. Nope. Sometimes it is you handing your power over when you need everyone to approve of you. When you can't say no. When someone else's emotions dictate yours.
What?
You keep explaining yourself to others who have already decided what they think. When you already know what you want, but you keep waiting for permission. So today, I want to explore 3 things. How you get in power, how you stay in power, and how you protect your power. Personal leadership is not about becoming more powerful than everyone else. It's about becoming harder to move away from yourself. One of the biggest mistakes in leadership, we teach people how to gain authority, but not to understand power. What happens once you have influence? Because having power creates a completely different set of problems. You become successful and then become afraid to lose your success. You become visible and then start performing the version of yourself that people expect. You become a leader and you get addicted to being right. You become independent and then become controlled by the need to maintain your image of independence. So the real leadership question is, can you hold power without losing yourself?
Alright, now before we go further, there's this distinction I want to make. None of this I shared are rules, they are signals. So you need to have a reference point but still use your discernment. Choose your response, not react from the pattern. Sometimes it's good to say yes, sometimes you need to say no. Sometimes you need to stand your ground, sometimes you just need to change your mind. Again, power is having the discernment to know which response the situation actually requires. Not here to give you another set of rules to follow, but to become more aware of where your choices are actually coming from.
Let's introduce a character. We call her Sarah. Sarah is smart, competent, and has been working hard for years. Eventually, she got promoted and everyone congratulates her. She finally has the authority, the title, the salary, and the team. She's had more power than she's ever had. On paper,
6 months later,
something strange happens. She's exhausted AF. Her team comes to her for every decision. Her boss keeps changing priorities and she has to keep accommodating. Clients message her at night. And the thing is, she can't say no because she wants to be helpful. Someone challenges her decisions and she spends 20 minutes explaining herself. She knows she should set boundaries, but she's worried everyone will think she's difficult. Eventually, she says, I don't understand. I have more authority than I've ever had. Why do I feel less powerful? And that is the paradox. Well, if you haven't guessed it, she lost her personal power, her personal agency. So how do you get power? Competence. Power begins when you can do something that creates value. You can solve something, see something, build something, explain something, connect things that people can't. You become someone whose contribution matters. The problem is the competence alone doesn't guarantee influence. You can be brilliant, but invisible. Which brings us to B, perception. People don't respond directly to your capability. They respond to their perception of your capability. And this is where personal branding naturally comes in. 2 people can have similar competence, but one communicates clarity, the other constantly apologizes. Who gets trusted? I'm not saying you fake confidence.
To understand what you know and what other people can perceive you know.
And this is why identity and perception matter. Part C, this is probably the most important. Power increases when you demonstrate. I can choose, not I can control everyone. Not about always getting your way, make your own decisions, and own your consequences. The ability to say no is one of the clearest signals of personal power. Because if you cannot say no, then your yes doesn't actually mean much. So, how do you stay in power? Now, Sarah has gained influence, but that's not enough. Getting power is one thing, Staying in power is something else entirely. If you don't want to fall apart, listen up. Once you gain success, you start protecting your position instead of your intelligence. There's a key difference here. You stop listening, you become defensive. Surround yourself with people who agree, and you become very afraid to admit. And here's the crucial principle. Strong people does not need to always be right. They only need to be able to update. And this is an important human intelligence idea. Real leadership comes from discernment, and where you will know when do you hold your ground, when do you change your mind, when are you responding to reality, or when are you simply defending your ego. Staying powerful requires adaptability, not instability. And you don't have to constantly change yourself for other people. You don't abandon your grounded center. And how do you protect your power? Why? Because power leaks. It doesn't happen dramatically, it happens quietly, through tiny little repeated behaviors. Power leak 1, you outsource your authority by constantly needing or seeking for everyone to approve before you move. And this is sometimes unconscious. You probably don't even know you have a tendency to do it. And you probably only know when someone points it out. Power leak number 2, over-explaining. I'm not saying don't explain. And if you talk critically and trying to do it in as little words as possible, sometimes you may not even be understood. But the gist of over-explaining is when someone questions you and you keep defending, justifying. Be careful here. I don't want you to think, okay, so I should stop explaining myself then, right? No. Or I should say no more often, right? No. Or I shouldn't care what people think, right? No. Just replacing one unconscious pattern after another blindly. So here's the fine nuances. Explaining yourself can be really powerful when you're creating understanding. Saying yes is powerful when it's a conscious choice. Caring what people think can be useful information. Changing your mind can be intelligence. The problem is not the behavior. The problem is when you've lost the ability to choose it consciously. So you can ask, why are you doing this? What are you actually responding to? Are you actually free to choose something different? It's not wrong to help people to understand, but the fine nuance is, are you overly doing it? Because sometimes no is a complete decision. Power leak number 3, poor boundaries. Someone repeated crosses a boundary and you tolerate it. Eventually, your boundary becomes a suggestion to the other person or others that it is always okay to cross it. Power leak 4, emotional reactivity. I know we are humans after all, we have emotions. I'm not saying you must suppress your emotion. We need to learn how to control our emotional state. Where the gist is, you remain capable of choosing your own response. Even if you choose to flare up, it's fine. If you choose to stay calm or walk away, it's fine. Power leak 5, you're always available and accessible to anyone and everyone. Power leak number 6, borrowed identity. You start becoming who your environment rewards you for being. You are the good employee, the strong one, the successful one. And until one day you realize you become very good at the person everyone else's needs, but you no longer know who you are anymore. Now, here's something for you to do after this video. 6 questions. Number 1, making decisions. Who are you allowing to make decisions that are actually yours to make? 2, attention. Who or what gets your attention without them earning it? 3, emotions. Who's the one that continuously triggers your emotions with any remark or comment? 4, boundaries. You said you will not tolerate this, but you continuously do so. 5, your identity. Where are you performing a version of yourself because you need to be accepted? It's not wrong to be accepted, but it is giving away who you truly are without first understanding what is your choice, and that's where the drift happens. Your voice, what do you know but keep being afraid to speak up or share your thoughts and being agreeable just so that you can follow the crowd? You don't have to fix all 6, you just have to find the one you're most uncomfortable answering. Now, think about power differently. The most powerful people in the room is the one who does not need to control the room. They listen without losing themselves. They can change their mind without appearing weak. They can say no without needing everyone to understand. And they can receive criticism without collapsing and leave when something no longer aligns. And they can choose their next move. That's personal leadership. So now I hope you can recognize when you are giving away your power. Because once you stop doing that, can start seeing just how much of your life was actually all within your This control. Is the part about power that we don't talk about often enough. Power without discernment can become control. Boundaries can become walls. Confidence can become arrogance. Independence can become isolation. Adaptability can become people-pleasing. Personal power is about seeing the situation clearly enough that you choose your response consciously. This is discernment and a deeper form of leadership.